All right, hey everyone, aiming for those top ranks in the UPSC exams, welcome back to the deep dive for your daily dose of current affairs. Today we're zeroing in on March 6th, 2025, all the need-to-know stuff for your prelims prep. We'll keep it focused and efficient.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about making the most of your study time. And, what some of today's topics might even ring a bell. We've covered a lot of ground, so think of this as a little revision boost, too.
Love that. Okay, so let's kick things off with something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Imagine an AI assistant, but specifically for doctors. Microsoft has just unveiled something called Dragon Copilot, and it's causing a stir in the healthcare world.
And what's really intriguing here is how it blends voice recognition with AI learning picture. A doctor using just their voice to instantly transcribe patient notes or even pull up research from huge medical databases. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, so it's like a super efficient medical scribe, researcher, and personal assistant all in one.
Exactly. But it's not just about speed. The whole system has been designed with really strict safeguards for patient privacy and, all those compliance rules. So no worries about some rogue AI taking over diagnoses anytime soon.
That's good to hear. All right, let's move from the high-tech world of AI, something a bit more natural seagrass. Now, you might not think much of it, but this underwater plant is actually a huge carbon capturing machine.
It's true. They can store carbon way faster than even rainforests, like up to 35 times faster, which is pretty remarkable. But it's not just about the carbon. Seagrass also creates a vital habitat for all sorts of marine life, protects coastlines from erosion, you name it.
So it's kind of like an unsung hero working hard behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, though, it's facing some serious threats. Pollution, coastal development, the usual suspects. Studies show that almost 5% of seagrass species are now endangered. That's a big red flag.
It really highlights how crucial it is to protect these ecosystems. And, speaking of vulnerable communities, there was a recent case in the Gujarat High Court that really brought to light the challenges faced by tribal groups here in India.
Right. The case was about the Rajgan tribe's struggle to get access to electricity, something many of us take for granted. This brings us to the Gond tribe itself, one of the largest and most historically significant tribal groups in India.
I've always found their history fascinating.
Absolutely. They even established their own kingdoms in central India centuries ago, and you can still see the legacy of those kingdoms today in the forts, palaces, and temples. They have such vibrant cultural practices, from unique languages to colorful festivals. It's a window into India's incredible diversity.
So understanding their history, their social structures, and the challenges they face is really crucial for anyone wanting to answer those UPSC questions on tribal welfare and social justice, right?
Exactly. And speaking of fascinating creatures, let's talk about a rare civet that was recently spotted somewhere it wasn't expected to be. This highlights the importance of wildlife conservation.
A civet. What exactly is a civet? Some kind of exotic cat?
Not quite. They're actually more closely related to mongooses. Civets are these sleek nocturnal creatures with long bodies, short legs, and a very distinctive musky scent. India has several species, but this particular sighting was the Malabar large-spotted civet.
Ah, yes, I remember reading about them. They're critically endangered, aren't they?
Yes, and this sighting outside of their usual habitat is both exciting and worrying. It reminds us how important it is to protect these creatures and their habitats from things like deforestation.
It's all about finding that balance, isn't it? Now, from the Western Ghats, let's journey to Majuli Island, the world's largest river island, right there in the Brahmaputra River.
It's not just geographically fascinating, it's a real cultural hub. It's the center of Assamese Neo-Vaishnavite culture, known for its unique satras. These are like monastic institutions that preserve ancient dances, music literature, and traditional crafts.
It's amazing how this island created by the river has become a sanctuary for such a rich heritage.
Truly. And it really embodies that interconnectedness that the UPSC syllabus emphasizes. You've got geography, environment, and culture all woven together to create India's diverse landscape.
All right, before we move on, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for your daily dose of UPSC current affairs. And hey, we'll be back with part 2 where we'll explore even more fascinating topics, so stay tuned.
That's right. From invasive species to cutting-edge agriculture, we've got a lot more ground to cover. All right, welcome back, everyone. Let's jump right back into our March 6th news roundup, breaking down the events that really matter for your exam prep.
Absolutely. We're picking up right where we left off. And remember, it's not just about memorizing the facts. It's about understanding, the connections, the why behind the news.
Exactly. So let's start with a topic that highlights that delicate balance in our ecosystems, invasive species. There's a new study out that's raising concerns about the Brazilian petunia, also known as Ruellia elegans, and its impact on native plants.
Invasive species can be a real problem, right? They're like those uninvited guests who just take over a party.
Haha, that's a good way to put it. They disrupt the natural order. You see, they compete with native species for resources, they change habitats, and sometimes they can even drive those native species to extinction. And in this case, the Ruellia elegans, it's already established itself in the Andaman Islands and even parts of Odisha.
So what makes this plant so dangerous? Is it like super aggressive or something?
It's not necessarily about aggression, it's more about its ability to thrive in new environments and reproduce really quickly. It can often outcompete native plants that haven't evolved to deal with this new competitor, and that can have a ripple effect throughout the entire ecosystem.
It's a good reminder that even small changes can have a big impact on biodiversity.
Hmm.
Okay, let's switch gears to a topic that's vital for India's economy, agriculture. There's a lot of buzz around Bulgur 3, a genetically modified cotton variety, and its growing demand in Punjab.
This is really important as we head into the cotton sowing season. Bulgur 3 is designed to tackle a major issue for farmers' pests. It's engineered with genes from a soil bacterium called Bacillus thuringiensis, or BT for short, which produces proteins that are toxic to certain insects.
So it's like building a natural defense system right into the plant.
Precisely. And here's what's interesting. Bulgur 3 contains 3 specific BP proteins. Each one targets different types of pests, making it even more effective than previous versions of Bati cotton.
So the goal is to boost crop yields and reduce the need for pesticides. Sounds like a win-win, right?
The potential is definitely there, but it's crucial to remember that with any genetically modified crop, there are questions about the long-term impact on the environment and human health. The science, the economics, the ethics surrounding technologies like Bulgur 3, these are all key issues for anyone prepping for the UPSC.
It's about understanding the whole picture, right? Both the potential benefits and the possible drawbacks. Now let's zoom out to the global stage and talk about defense technology. Sweden recently decided to equip its Gripen fighter jets with the Taurus KPD-350 missile, and that's making headlines.
This is a big development in the world of modern warfare. The Taurus KPD-350 is a long-range, precision-guided cruise missile, and it's designed to break through even the most advanced air defense systems.
Wow, so this isn't just your average missile. What makes it so special?
Well, first off, its range. It can travel over 500 kilometers. That means it can hit targets far beyond enemy lines. And it's incredibly accurate thanks to a sophisticated navigation system that uses GPS terrain-following radar and even image-based navigation.
That's some seriously advanced technology.
It is. And for UPSC aspirants, understanding these types of weapons is essential for analyzing international relations, strategic alliances, and India's own defense strategies in a world that's constantly changing.
It's all connected, isn't it? From the tiny world of bacteria protecting crops to the high-tech realm of missiles. And speaking of connections, let's talk about an organization that's been in the news lately. Unfortunately, not for good reasons. The World Food Program, or WFP, has had to close its Southern Africa office due to budget cuts.
This is a tough situation. It really highlights the challenges faced by organizations working to combat hunger around the world. The WFP plays a critical role in providing food assistance during emergencies and helping communities improve their nutrition and build resilience.
So this closure is a major setback, especially for a region that's already facing so many difficulties.
Absolutely. Understanding the WFP's mission, how it's funded, and the complexities of international aid is essential for anyone preparing for the UPSC. And it's not just about the numbers, it's about recognizing the real human impact of these decisions.
It's about seeing the people behind the statistics. Now, for something completely different, let's wrap up this segment with a story about scientific discovery and a bit of wonder. Scientists have found thriving microbial life in the volcanic ice caves beneath Mount Erebus in Antarctica.
Pretty incredible, right? It shows us that life can exist even in the harshest of environments. Mount Erebus is the world's southernmost active volcano, and these ice caves, they're formed by volcanic steam carving tunnels into the glaciers. These microbes, they're surviving in complete darkness, intense heat, and with very limited nutrients.
It's like a glimpse into another world, a testament to the resilience of life.
It really is. And this discovery, it challenges our understanding of where life can exist and what conditions it can tolerate. For those studying for the UPSC, this underscores the importance of scientific exploration, understanding geography, and recognizing the interconnectedness of our planet systems.
It's truly mind-blowing. All right, UPSC hopefuls, welcome back. It's time to wrap up our March 6th deep dive. Get you prepped and ready for those exam questions.
Exactly. We've covered a ton of ground today, from AI for doctors to, microbes in volcanic ice caves. It's been quite a journey.
We talked about all sorts of things, cutting-edge tech like that Dragon Copilot and the Taurus missile. We explore those challenges with invasive species and the potential of genetically modified crops. And hey, we even took a trip to Majuli Island.
Oh, and let's not forget about those, stark reminders of the problems we face, like threats to seagrass and those funding cuts hitting the World Food Programme's efforts to fight hunger.
It's been a whirlwind of current events.
Yeah.
But that's how it is, right? Everything's always changing, connected, and it really pushes us to, think critically and connect the dots.
And that's exactly what the UPSC exam is all about. It's not just about, memorizing facts and figures. It's about seeing the bigger picture, analyzing the root causes, and thinking about the potential consequences.
So what are the key takeaways our future civil servants should keep in mind?
I think it's about developing a really sharp sense of observation, a genuine curiosity, and that ability to, synthesize information from different sources.
It's also about recognizing that even events that seem unrelated can have these ripple effects across different areas, like the environment, the economy, social justice, international relations.
It's about understanding that decisions made by policymakers, they have consequences that impact not just individuals, but entire communities and even ecosystems.
And it's about being adaptable, always learning and approaching complex issues from, multiple perspectives.
Exactly. The UPSC journey, it's not just about gaining knowledge, it's about really honing your analytical skills, that critical thinking and developing a holistic understanding of the world.
Well said.
Yeah.
So on that note, a final thought for you to consider as you continue your prep.
Think about that discovery of microbial life in those extreme environments. How could that discovery, impact our approach to climate change here on Earth? It's a question that brings together science policy and the future of our planet.
It's those kinds of connections that make current affairs so fascinating and so relevant to your UPSC journey. Remember, knowledge is power, and in your case, it could be the key to serving your nation.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the world around you.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more daily UPSC current affairs deep dives. We'll see you tomorrow for another exciting exploration of the news that matters.